worst Geometry Dash level. Oftentimes we talk about the very best of the best. I don't know nothing about the worst of the worst. Tell me about it, GD Cologne.
Bad Geometry Dash levels. They exist. I know, I was surprised too. It's almost like when your game relies on community-made levels, the vast majority of them are going to be not good. But you know what? Everyone starts somewhere, and there's no point in focusing on these bad levels when there's tens of thousands of masterpieces that you could be experiencing instead. But at the same
That's what I'm saying, the survivorship bias of like, when you're a gamer, you want to play good stuff. Like, you don't really want to play the bad stuff unless you're making a YouTube video about it.
time, it's content.
How's it going, guys? Today we're gonna be playing levels from the recent tab.
Wait, is this what GD Cologne looks like?
I sure hope there aren't any bad ones.
Like...
Lately, I've been thinking a lot about the bad levels
Wow.
in Geometry Dash, because at the end of the day, it's a big part of the game's culture.
I thought he was gonna look like this fox guy.
Sure, you could just not play them, but what about the map pack levels that you need to suffer through for some extra coins? Or the world's smallest violin shorts that get millions of views? Or maybe there's a demon level that you just don't like. You can ignore these levels all you want, but they are there and they are popular. Sometimes more so than levels that actually deserve that kind of spotlight. But what's the worst level in Geometry Dash? Like the absolute lowest of low.
I guess it depends, like, what quantifies worst? Is it worst in terms of gameplay? Is it worst in terms of effort? Is it worst in terms of unspeakable TOS things?
I wanted to solve this for a long time, but there are literally tens of millions of levels out there. I was thinking of going off some criteria.
And can I just say, dude, these GD Cologne videos are like the most fun to react to, dude. These videos are so good.
Like maybe it's the most disliked rated level in the game, which is this auto level with various obstacles that probably came out back when nearly every level uploaded to the servers got rated. Or maybe we can go by download to dislike ratio, which led me to this strange 2-player level. In reality, there just aren't any good ways to conclusively find a single worst level for the game. So I think the best answer to this question is another question. Do I look like MatPat to you? Seriously, why am I wasting my time trying?
Yes, I think a little bit. I think a little bit you look like MatPat. You look reminiscent of MatPat. Oh, that was facetious.
To find some earth-shattering evidence when the worst level is very obviously Generation Retro. This is the final level of the Poison Gauntlet.
Wait, why have I heard of this level before, chat? Have y'all Generation... I've actually, people have chatted about that before a lot of times.
Which means that 5 million people were forced to play through it, and
I feel like they meme about it.
5 million therapists were probably called shortly after. Seriously, this level is terrible. Just skip it, hack it even, nobody has to know. So where did it all go wrong? The year is 1978. Arcade games like Pong and Breakout have taken the world by storm, and Japanese game developer
Oh, it's because of this video that it's memed on? Also, this is so funny that he was like, where did it all go wrong? And he went back to like the genesis of gaming. That's really funny.
Tomohiro Nishikado was determined to make the most captivating and groundbreaking gaming experience yet. Inspired by the block-breaking mechanics of Breakout as well as science fiction stories like Star Wars, he worked tirelessly to develop a 3-button shooter game known as Space Invaders.
Yo, have y'all played Space Invaders? This is actually peak.
The way it worked was simple. A horde of aliens are making their way towards the bottom of the screen, and you have to destroy them all while dodging their bullets. The game ended up being a massive success, and before you knew it, people everywhere were flocking to arcades to give it a try. Space Invaders would go on to be one of the most influential video games of all time, and a massive
Dude, it's genuinely so good. Like, I think it holds up.
turning point in the history of gaming. Anyways, fast forward to late 2015.
It's getting a movie, but it's already what real life is like.
And a Spanish Geometry Dash creator by the name of Aratza woke up one morning and felt like tarnishing the game's entire legacy. Thankfully, 4 years later, it was restored by MDK and Teminite. Everywhere you
Oh, I thought this was a non sequitur. Wait, is Space Invaders in Generation Retro?
look in Generation Retro, there's aliens from Space
Oh, okay.
Invaders.
I need to shut up and listen
In
sometimes.
fact, there's even a section where they make up the gameplay itself. So really, there's no denying that the game had a huge influence on this level. Of course, Generation Retro isn't the first level to do the whole Space Invaders thing. I'm sure the first one to come to mind is Retray, which came out a few months prior in Update 1.9 and is currently the most liked level in the entire game.
This dude's GD account got so dislike bombed because of this vid. Wait, do people love Generation Retro?
And these little aliens showed up in lots of other 1.9 levels, like Hyper Arcade and Uninstall. The pixel art was easy to make and super recognizable, so really, why not?
Cute.
Generation Retro definitely took it a step further though, because the entire level is themed around these aliens, even if there's no direct mention of Space Invaders. But this just begs the question, why is it in the Poison Gauntlet? Remember, this level was
Oh, I thought you were saying that people like dislike bomb GD colon. Sorry, I don't understand how GD accounts and that kind of thing works. Like, I haven't interacted with most parts of this game outside of playing in the level.
Was handpicked over thousands of other potential candidates. I know the early gauntlets don't stick to their name all that well, but that's because most of the levels in them just aren't themed. Generation Retro very clearly is, and the only conclusion I can draw is that it was put in the Poison Gauntlet because the level is green, like the Shard. And maybe it's because of the boss fight since it's the final level of the gauntlet, but Fire's got one on level 1, so who knows. Oh yeah, spoilers, there's a boss fight. By the way, Gauntlet's released in 2017, and this level came out in 2015, so it's not like RobTop pulled a random new featured level or something. This one stood out to him, and this is the creator's only rated level, so they weren't like well known. I know I said that if a level is bad, you don't have to play it, but this one is genuinely forced onto you. By putting it in a gauntlet, the level is officially endorsed and part of the game's core progression. If you're not familiar with gauntlets, there are collections of 5 developer-picked levels that
to this day I've not played a gauntlet. Probably never will, based on what people in my chat have said.
you play through
Or wait, no, it's level packs people hate. Haven't played a gauntlet though.
for cool rewards. Map packs just give you coins, which you don't need after a certain
Or I meant map. Did I say level packs? I meant map packs.
point, but this gauntlet has an unlockable player color tied to it, so you're really encouraged to give it a shot. And that's why I think this is the worst level. Not only is it an absolute train wreck for reasons we'll get into, but it's forced onto you. It's forever cemented as part of official Geometry Dash. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, but Craig, what about Scarlet Surge? Shut up! No, like seriously, what do people have against Scarlet Surge? I played through it and it's fine.
Chat, I can proudly say I have nothing against Scarlet Surge because I don't know what it is.
My only real complaint is that it's long, and while the gameplay is perfectly fair and readable, it isn't all that interesting. Also, the level has a lot of flashing lights, making it a potential nightmare for photosensitive players, so
It's a W. Purely based off of it being flashing lights, it would probably trend towards the kind of level I don't love. I don't love flashing lights.
picking it for the most important
I think they're a little... It feels like when you get extra sauce on a salad that you never needed.
gauntlet in the game is extremely inconsiderate on RobTop's end. But either way, I had a decent time with this level, and I stand by it. So I'm sure by now you're dying to know what it is that I hate so much about Generation Retro.
Yeah.
So let's play through the level, and I'll walk you through it.
Okay.
The level opens with a
Whoa, what was that
black
shot,
screen
bro?
and some blinking text that says insert coin. Obviously you don't actually have to do this, it's just a cute callback to old arcade games. Like Space Invaders. Your icon slides in from the side of the screen, and Boss Fight's 2015 Hood classic Glitch Gremlin fades in from exactly 192 seconds. The name of the song is apparently a reference to this character from the Angry Video Game Nerd YouTube series. If you're not
I used to watch the Angry Video Game Nerd all the time. What about you, chat? No, I think some of you are like 10 years old.
it's basically a web show where this guy plays bad games for content and makes jokes about it.
He's gonna take you back to the past to play some games that suck. Wait, me censoring that. They suck ass. They don't suck anything else.
Them.
That's a stupid idea.
So initially the level is pitch black, but when you hit the first jump pad, all the decorations appear. It sets this cool cyber retro theme, and you've got these Space Invaders aliens plastered everywhere because world building. I wouldn't say that the art style is a weak point for this level, but it is very copy and paste, and there's all sorts of clashing decorations that don't go well with each other.
I kind of like it. Am I crazy? I think it's because of my like software developer programmer brain. I love green on black, bro. Like a classic terminal. I love that, dude. This actually looks good to me. Am I crazy?
Like the glowing blocks and the spinning whirlwind things. Also, do you notice something about the pixel art?
The deco is hype, but gameplay is ass.
It's got these weird diagonal lines slicing through it, and I can guarantee you, this is not a
I don't know, man. It's got some charm.
style choice. What you're seeing here is someone who did not know that the editor has pixel blocks, so instead they use this little square-shaped 3D decoration since it's the next best thing.
I'll say it again. Every time I see the level editor in a video, I get a lot of anxiety and I almost want to throw up because I'm overwhelmed.
This was a pretty common practice back in 1.9, but it immediately
I haven't opened the level editor to this day.
became obsolete after that since scaling and pixel blocks were added. And it's very unlikely that the level was started in 1.9 since the first click of the entire level is a green orb. So yeah, the level is completely themed around these pixel aliens, and they're not even built right! Speaking of that green orb, if you don't hit the blue one directly,
That's fair. To be honest, if he hadn't pointed it out, it wouldn't have bothered me. But now that he's pointed it out, it does bother me. It's like, have y'all learned a lot about pixel art? It's like when, what's it called? It's like when someone makes a sprite in a game, but they use a different sized pixels to make it, or like they use a mix of different sized pixels. What's that called? Does anyone in chat remember? I feel like we talked about this once. when I was streaming Celeste. There's like a term for it. There's like certain rules in pixel art that if you break them, it just feels wrong. Yeah, bit depth.
After it, you just fly off the map. This is a pretty innocent mistake that's present in a lot of levels, but I kid you not, every single gravity change in this level has that problem. There are 0 ceiling spikes or saws anywhere in the level, which means that if you miss a jump while upside down, you either have to wait a couple seconds or pause the game and manually restart, which is a feature that isn't even on by default for whatever reason.
What?
It's stuff like this that makes it extremely clear that this level had next to 0 playtesting, and there is infinitely more proof to back that up.
But did the person who make this level, like, were they trying hard when they did it though? I kind of feel bad if like they were trying to make a good level, but people hated them for it. Or were they trying to
For
troll?
example, if you don't buffer all 3 of these orbs, there's a pretty good chance that you'll
Like the art seems so like it feels like this was someone's passion project.
overshoot on the yellow orb and die to this genius structuring. I guess I should also address the lore of this level. It'll pick up further on.
Oh my god, that was perfect timing. Yeah, what's the lore?
But for now, we're introduced to this angry red alien with eyes that break the rules of pixel art. He welcomes you
Oh, I think he means lore within the level, not lore surrounding the level's
to the
creation.
level, and that's about it for now. But he'll be really important later,
It's his first level. I feel like that's kind of impressive, no?
trust me. Shortly after his epic introduction, you're hit
I don't know, why are we so hard on each other?
with an invisible mini portal that causes you to bounce lower on this jump pad, and then you hit another invisible portal that changes you back. Right off the bat, I have so many questions.
I think it was just a fun little project. Yeah, it looks like it.
Why are the portals invisible? Why is there a mini portal anyways? Why are you immediately changed back before you even make a single click? For some reason, lots of levels used to have invisible mini portals like this, and I've never understood why. Like, it doesn't add
Shout out my mods. Y'all are doing great work today. Thanks.
anything to the level, it's just a brief loss of control and an extra layer of confusion. And in the context of this level, it doesn't even sync to the music, it's just kind of unexplainably there. Well,
I have not played this level, so I have no opinion on it, but I like the way it looks.
actually, maybe not as unexplainable as this random fading block. I think the intent is that it's supposed to save you if you decide to leap off this block for whatever reason, but that raises even more questions. Like, why was this accounted for but not the orb timings at the start? Why was a fading block used instead of shifting around the gameplay? And what makes this jump so important in the first place? If you want to allow jumping here, this block is like the worst possible solution because of how much it clashes with the rest of the level's style. There could have at least been an effort to make it look like part of the regular gameplay, but nope, apparently that's too much work.
If this was someone's first level, I don't think we need to be so critical of it. That's just my opinion. I think, I don't know the full story, but dude, if I made my first level and GD Colon made a video about how much my level sucked ass, I'd feel bad.
Work for old Arathsa.
You know?
By the way, we're like 5% into the level so far. I just figured I'd point that out. There's this blue pad a little bit after that launches
Oh, right. The issue is that it's in a gauntlet. That's a good point. I kind of forgot about that part.
you up to some platforms.
That's a good point. That is where the criticism comes from. Like, if it wasn't to be, you're right. We glossed over that part of the video. Thank you for re-highlighting that. I kind of forgot about that.
Which are barely out of the camera,
If it wasn't in a gauntlet, we'd look at it in a more forgiving light.
meaning that this part is kind of a blind jump, but it's still super doable. It's worth bringing up though, since there are going to be much worse ones later down. And in case you're not familiar with the term, a blind jump is essentially any jump where you're unable to see what's up ahead. For example, if I were to put a jump directly after a long drop downwards, it would be
Okay, I'm going back to being severe then. Sorry, I'm sensitive and a softie, especially when it comes to artists and creativity. Like, I just like, you know, if someone's writing a song, I'm just like, yeah, go.
considered blind
But yeah, I'm angry now. I'm putting on my serious face.
because you don't have any time to process it. Moving
Wow, that's embarrassing.
on, there's a whole bunch of blue pads here building up to the song's drop, and the level is even friendly enough to remind you of its name. This part is fine for a build-up, but I would tweak this last bit right before the drop since I think it's a little awkward. After the bass kicks, you enter a robot part, and it's definitely something. More specifically, jank. It flows poorly, and all the jumps feel kind of weird. You'd also
Wait, so does Rob Top hand select all the gauntlet levels? I think he literally said that earlier.
expect
My
some new
bad.
decoration and effects
I'm sorry, I'm ADHD.
after the drop, but it's still the same old aliens and green stuff.
Okay.
Of course, I have to highlight this random key, which is
So maybe he was just enamored with how cool it looked. Because I know some people in chat were saying like, oh, the deco looks kind of weird, but I've seen other people who kind of agree with me. Like, it's a cool looking level. A cool looking level with jank gameplay? Yeah, that is hard to swallow. Because I've also said before on stream that like, the most important part of a game is the gameplay loop needs to be good and aesthetics need to come second. Unfortunately, I do think that games, like video games specifically, they are a form of media where substance actually needs to exist over style. I think there are some artistic medium or media where you can have style over substance in some cases, but with games, like, if a game is all flash and no splash, how the hell are you going to learn how to dash?
Completely unmissable and unlocks a door directly next to it. This could have been a cool idea, but it's the only key door in the entire level, so it's such a random addition. Like, what is the key providing here other than added confusion? Technically, Meltdown did this with the 7 Cs, but at least there it syncs with the music and feels like a gateway to the real level. This key is sort of just here. And it goes even deeper because the key is pixelated, but the keyhole isn't, so they don't even look like they match up. And get this, the key uses pixel blocks!
No! Dude, you can't be using pixel blocks when you build keys for your levels because usually we just use... Wild guess here, chat. Is there a key asset? I'm just taking a guess. Was I right?
So, for some reason, all the aliens are built with the ugly 3D tile, while this
I did it! Let's go. Hell yeah.
random key is the only pixel art in the level to actually be assembled correctly. And funny enough, when you touch the pixelated key, it also reveals a normal one underneath, which is only there because the Funny enough, when you touch the pixelated key, it also reveals a normal one underneath.
That's funny.
Which is only there because the creator didn't want to add their own pickup animation. But what breaks me more than anything is that if you manage to miss the key, it disappears anyways. The gate doesn't open, but the key just kind of pieces out. What was the thought process behind this?
But there's a reason for it. Yeah, the lore implications are sometimes keys disappear into the abyss.
Like, they clearly know how to make triggers that activate on touch because the gate's still closed, but why not do that for the key disappearing? I just don't get it. After that monstrosity, there's another moving platform that pops up out of nowhere, and it's kind of funny because this one isn't even tied to a
Dude, GD: moving platforms. They will butt heads for the rest of all of eternity.
key or anything like that. I don't expect consistency from this level, but I'm just desperately trying to find something decent to cling on to. After jumping off this platform, you
Hey, W, looking for the positive
hit
side.
a gravity portal which leads into another blind jump, where you'll probably either run into this spike or miss the blue orb and fly off the map again. I
Oh, the alien stole the key. That actually makes sense. Wait, that's clever.
wouldn't go as far as to say that this part requires memorization, but you do need to be ready for it. As far as lore goes, we run into the red alien again, and he looks normal at first, but suddenly turns angry
This looks like this is a crab.
and yells "No!" before flying off screen. I have no idea what that's supposed to
Money, 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 money.
mean, so don't ask me. At first I thought he was mad that you're inside the level or something like that, but this is the same alien that welcomes you at the start, so I kinda thought he wanted you to stick around. Once you pass
Wait, chat, my alarm went off. I need to start streaming in 10 minutes. Can you remind me? Thanks.
him, there's a custom teleport portal that also flips your gravity, and honestly, I think it's fine. It's very clear how it works, and I think it fits quite nicely with the level. But what's weird is that if you walk off the platform and fall off the map, you pass by this weird circular thing that's not normally viewable. It's not a coin, and it doesn't have any group IDs attached to it. It's
It looks like a dash crystal from Celeste.
kind of creepy, honestly.
Oh, actually, it looks more like the key trigger. Like if this was light blue, you know what I'm talking about? I forget what that asset's called in Celeste.
Maybe it's an eyeball or some sort of cult symbol? I really have no idea, but I'd love to hear your theories on this. You can also see it if you skip this green orb, because again, this level has no ceiling spikes, but this time the actual eyeball-shaped part has disappeared. It's a
Yeah, the blue coin.
strange amount of detail for something that you never see. Ignoring that, next we reach a wave portal where the walls don't appear until
I think it's because it has the negative space. Like it uses negative space the same way the blue coin in Celeste
a
does.
little too late. The gameplay here isn't that bad, but it's a wave part, so as long as you place a bunch of slopes, you really can't go wrong. There's also a coin up here, which is in a pretty generic spot for a custom level, but it's not terrible by any means. There's a custom coin texture as well, and sure enough, it's made with pixel blocks while all the aliens in the background aren't. And it's also the exact opposite of the key from earlier, because this time the coin doesn't disappear regardless of if you touched it or not. Also, this is where the level begins to take a dark turn, because suddenly everything goes red and flashy, and before you know it, there's a virus detected. It's just like they warned us about.
Virus alert, delete immediately before someone gets hurt. Forward this message onto everybody. Weird Al Yankovic? Sorry, you guys are so young.
By the way, there's another invisible mini portal here. You have enough time to react to it, but this is like the single worst game mode to have an invisible mini portal in.
Deadlock!
There's really no reason why it had to be invisible, and it's not like it would have made the level uglier, because seriously, have you looked at this? Next up is a ball part, and in an unexpected turn of events, those aliens from the background are now the main objects supporting you. And feast your eyes on those beautiful hitboxes. There's an invisible blue pad that does the first
Yummy little hitboxes. I want to eat them.
move for you, and I'd prefer if it was visible, but it's not like it'll mess you up in any way. The real problem with this ball part is this infamous alien right here, because it looks like an ordinary platform, just like the 4 that came before it.
Bro, that's Dennis.
But when you touch it, it turns evil and kills you
Bro, Dennis just gets angry sometimes. Hop off my boy's back.
on the spot. Get trolled. So funny. This is why I have trust issues.
Like, the thing about Dennis is, like, if you don't mess with him, he's not going to mess with you. Like, hop off a guy's... Hop off of his back, buddy.
Okay, look, I'm not gonna deny that there are some
Were y'all intimidated by me just then?
visuals to help you out. The alien isn't animated like the others are, and there's a down arrow to nudge you in the right direction. But it doesn't do much because this stupid alien is in such a tempting spot. I feel like I need to land there because it just feels
If you're a hater, then don't be a waiter. Yeah, you gotta dap up for that.
right. Even when I'm well aware that it kills you, I still find myself trying to hit this platform again and again. It's tempting to the point that it's messing with my brain. This isn't a troll, this is psychological torture. I think the reason this spot is such a big punch in the gut is because it's a memory part in a level that you don't expect to be about memory. Don't get me wrong, there are many levels where you have to memorize things. It's super popular among demon levels, and some of them, like Limbo, are masterpieces. But the difference is that those are levels you play because they're memory levels. So when you die to something you were supposed to memorize, you're not going to be surprised. A good analogy for this is playing an extreme demon versus playing an easy 2-star level that suddenly turns into an extreme at the very end. The first one sets
But that's kind of funny, though.
your expectations properly, and you have a good idea of what you're getting yourself into. But with the second one, it's unfair. It's not what you wanted from the level, and it leaves you feeling betrayed. Like the
Yeah, it's like if you went to the grocery store to get some Oreos, and then when you opened up the package of Oreos, it's just sardines.
creator doesn't care about you. And it's especially bad for casual players who just wanted to play something relaxing. In the context of Generation Retro, I think most of the expectations are set by the fact that it's only 6 stars, and the gameplay so far has been relatively straightforward. There's a couple spots that you might have to memorize due to bad placement or unpredictable triggers, but when you die to this alien, which the level clearly wants you to do, this is when you realize it's all on purpose. The level hates you, the creator hates you, and the stupid red alien, well, I don't know, maybe he's
Dude, I've talked about this before with, like, there's this concept in D&D. There are, like, unforgiving DMs where, like, they're hellbent on trying to kill their players. This is my least favorite kind of creator. I don't like people who make stuff game related or game adjacent where their goal is to torture the player. I think that that is sadistic behavior. Like, what if you just made a game that was fun to play?
just misunderstood. There's also further
Like, what if you just made a game, like, what if you actually got along with people instead of always having to be argumentative and combative with them and needing to have, like, one over them?
expectations set by this level being in a gauntlet, since in order to get to this
Rage games be like? Rage games are actually different because going back to GD Colin's previous point, it's about expectation, right? It's about the framing of what you expect. Rage games are okay because you go into a rage game knowing that you are like a Kaizo, for example. You know the goal is to make you rage. Or like games like Getting Over It, where like the whole goal is like the Fadian style game. That makes sense because it's meeting your expectation as a player. When the packaging is like, oh yeah, it's just whatever, and then like it trolls you, that's mean.
level, you have to beat 4 other ones with a lot more care put into them. Memory parts aren't inherently bad, they're just bad when they show up in places where you don't want them. And this level has no shame. The earlier memory parts were innocent enough, but this one feels like it's spitting directly in your face. So you're just supposed to go down, there's an invisible blue pad because the game thinks
Oh wow, I would have. I was like the whole time he was covering this part, I was like, where are you supposed to go then? That is not intuitive,
you're
bro.
too stupid to press a button. And then this blue alien shows up and he's like, hey! He serves as a platform to cross a small gap, and then he disappears forever. Or
When you're doing that vape break, Vsauce, Michael here.
does he? There's something so funny to me about how his text turns black and then moves along with him, but maybe it's an artistic choice. Also, there's no decoration around this pink orb, even though the first one had some, so scrap all the
spam
memory
call.
stuff I said earlier because this is the real crime. The rest of the ball part is fine. The alien hitboxes still suck, and the most notable thing to point out is probably this UFO that moves along with you for a little bit. There's no visual hint for it and it's very unnecessary, but let's be real, so are many things in this level. You probably won't die to it, and my expectations are so low to the point that that's good enough for me. The ball part ends with a beautifully placed jump pad, and then it's on to the UFO. For this part, you just fly through the wall it tells you to, and in all honesty, it's not terrible compared to most UFO
Because you told me to!
sections. I think it's really cool how this part references the safety bunkers from the original Space Invaders game, since it shows evidence that maybe the creator actually liked Space Invaders and wasn't just using the art from it. What's kind of funny is that I didn't even notice that—
Yeah, I feel like you don't make a level using Space Invader-esque assets without, like, having a passion or interest in it, right? Like, I don't think you just pull this out of thin air.
the red alien is the one breaking the walls, mainly because his animation is so fast that you barely have time to notice it. But it's otherwise put together quite nicely and does a good job at tying the level's theme
Like, I wouldn't make a Sailor Moon level because I don't like Sailor Moon. I would make a Sailor Moon level because I like it.
into the gameplay. This would be my favorite part of the level, but it's Generation Retro, so obviously there's invisible size changes everywhere. You know, just to be cool, or— look, I don't know why these are here. All I want in life is to know what this guy was thinking when he made any of this. After the UFO stop, you hit an invisible ship portal and are forced into the center by a bunch of invisible
This is the best
blocks.
part?
And thus begins the boss fight,
Dude, a Sailor Moon Extreme Demon would go so hard in the paint.
which spans the entire rest
Dude, it's like a mega collab, but like, dude, the same way we've been talking about how the different parts of Bloodbath are like bosses for me, you get a segment of the level that's styled like each of the different sailors.
of the level, but not before some extremely emotional dialogue from the evil red alien who says, Ja 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 ja, you have not win. You died. No! Look, I know English isn't the creator's first language. I mean, he literally laughed in Spanish and I pronounced it the stupid way. It definitely makes it a weird choice for a gauntlet in an English game, but look, he's trying his best.
Jar Jar Binks. Feel what I'm saying?
It makes me wonder if the name of the level was the result of some broken English as well. Like, what if he meant to say Retro Generation, but forgot that nouns don't go first in English?
No, I don't think so. I think Generation Retro is okay, we can criticize a lot about the level. Generation Retro is aura, bro. That is a sick name. That name is like awesome. Come on.
Still,
Generation Retro.
even without the language barrier, is this really the best you could come up with? The best way to salvage this would probably be like, I won't let you win, now it's time to die, but even that could use some work. Whatever, who am I to tell this guy how to write his stories?
Exactly, it's tough. Generation Retro is tough.
Though I will say it needs better pacing, since you
There's like a certain vibe and sound to naming. I'm glad a lot of you in chat are pointing this out. Like, it's literally like you can hear it, and I know I'm leading a bit by saying this. Retro Generation. Generation Retro. Hey guys, can you play my level? It's called Retro Generation. Hey guys, how's it going? I just made a level. It's called Generation Retro. You should check it out.
barely have time to read any of this or let it sink in. Also, after the dialogue, you reach the end of the invisible platform, so hopefully you weren't taking a stretch break or you're gonna plummet right into the spikes and have not win. Oh, and don't try to continue flying straight or you'll get sniped by the alien's laser. Otherwise, the boss fight kicks off and a health bar appears above the alien. From here on
W boss fight.
out, it's just the two of you in a completely empty black background. The alien flies around aimlessly and takes 2 shots at you, which you can dodge by keeping a height difference. If something feels slightly off about the movement here, it's because there's some invisible speed portals. I'm not exactly sure why this is needed for the fight, but they are indeed there. Once you survive his brutally hard attacks, you come across this jetpack looking thing which the level clearly wants you to pick up. In fact, it wants you to so badly that there's invisible slopes that literally force you to get it. This jetpack thing causes you to shoot 2 bullets at the alien, and since he doesn't bother to move out of the way, his health depletes a little bit. On paper, this is a brilliant idea. In the vast majority of GD,
There are many great ideas out there, chat. Many ideas, some of them probably floating around in your brain space right now. The thing that differentiates the best creators from the worst creators, one, is even executing. The fact that this level Generation Retro even exists is further than 99% of people who want to create something will ever get. Because 99% of people who want to create something will never get their thing to the finish line. They just won't. Whether it's because of self-sabotage or something else, it's usually some sort of reason that stops them from doing what they want to do. The best creators, it's not about how powerful your idea is. It is about your ability to execute execute the idea at the highest possible level.
The boss fights, you just sit there dodging attacks until the boss randomly self-destructs. But in this case, you're actually fighting back. Another thing I really like is that... Never
Ideas, get out of my brain!
mind, I got nothing. Let's talk about why this part f***ing sucks.
Yeah, chat, get those ideas out of your brain and onto the page, bro. Put pen to paper. It's real.
First up, I have no idea what this thing is supposed to be, but it's made of pixel blocks. You know what isn't made of pixel blocks? The boss. That just so happens to be pixelated. It's also funny because the pickup uses 32 objects when you could very easily do it in like under 10. Whatever, that's not important. What is important is the fact that you can't miss this thing. So even though there's an epic boss fight going on, you have very little control
Damn, this guy's so mad. Oh, this is kind of his thing.
over what your player does. It's way more rewarding if you have to pick up the weapon yourself.
He even references earlier in the video that AVGN, Angry Video Game Nerd, is one of his influences.
And it's not like it makes the level harder in any way since it's just sitting there. Maybe the creator did this because he didn't want to make a complicated health system, but you don't even need that. If you miss the weapon, just make the boss insta-kill you. It's not rocket science. In the time I spent complaining about this, I already built the setup. The invisible blocks also cause the same issue as before.
Do you think you could make a level? I could, but would it be good? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Where you have no clue when the cutscene ends, so you have to be ready for it. I'm assuming you're trapped in this space so that the bullets will always hit the boss, but it makes the fight that much more unpleasant because, again, I want to be the one actually playing the game here. Another problem I have with this bit is that there's no music sync at all. Take a listen. In fact, nothing in this boss fight syncs. You can replace the music in the boss fight with something
Versus skeletal shenanigans, bro. That boss fight's fun, bro. It's Cuphead.
completely different, and nothing would change because none of it was built around the music in any way. Finally, the weapon is clearly made of 3 components, but you only shoot 2 projectiles. Normally this wouldn't bother me, but his health bar goes down 3 times.
It's an old level, though. I'm an old level.
So is there a ghost bullet or something? Well, actually, yes, there is. If you turn off preview mode, you can see that there is a 3rd bullet, but it stays invisible, so you never see it in the level. How do you mess that up? So after that, you dodge a few more attacks, and then there's another invisible speed portal. If you stay low during this part, you'll get a coin, which is something that levels like Deadlocked and Outer Space did really well. But in this case, the alien is perfectly centered, so it's not like it's any harder to go down than up. What usually makes these coins so good is that the level very obviously wants you to go in one direction since there's lots more room to dodge the attack. But if
One Direction, Harry
you
Styles?
reject that and avoid the obvious path,
Some of your brains also did that.
you actually get rewarded for it. In this case though, it's just a 50-50. You either go up or down and both ways are about the same. But what really gets me is that the alien shoots a massive burst of bullets that's a lot harder to dodge than anything so far. And the only indication of a safe spot is the coin! So if you don't want to get unfairly sniped in this part, you have to take the coin route anyways! Also, because
That
this
is
is
weird.
Generation Retro, the custom coin doesn't disappear after you collect, and this time it even takes a moment to appear. After another big burst of bullets from the boss, in an unexpected turn of events, the blue alien from the ballpark comes back, and he's like, "No! This is the end! For you!" And he shoots some sort of beam at the red guy and causes him to fade out of existence.
Wait, that's sick. That was awesome.
So yeah, that health bar was meaningless the entire time. My favorite part about this bit is that the pacing of the dialogue is horrendous. So when you actually read it out loud, it's more like, "No! This is the end for you!" Anyways, this takes us to level final, which is backwards in English, but normal in various other languages, including Spanish. Some invisible slopes force you into a teleport portal. We get this incredibly cool transition. Let's see that again. And next thing you know, the entire level's on fire and the background's still a black undecorated void. This transition is like the only part with music sync in the entire boss fight, and in my opinion, it's still pretty mediocre, but feel free to judge for yourself. So now the red alien is like, "Arg, this is my game. It's time for a game over." Which, okay, sure. Next time at least be consistent with which words you capitalize. But also, I have no idea if this is the same alien as before because he looks different now. I always assumed it was the boss's final phase, but I'm starting to think that maybe the previous guy died and now you're up against the CEO of Generation Retro. I don't know. Though it's worth pointing out that this is the same red alien you see in every other part of the level, so maybe the first boss was a decoy. I'm not gonna lie, it is kind of fun to come up with theories for this, but it also kills me inside to know that the creator probably wanted to communicate something very specific, but failed miserably. So I have no idea. I'm gonna go with the decoy theory because that's my favorite, but feel free to come up with your own in the comments. So this guy attacks by shooting a big glow object laser that's telegraphed with an exclamation mark, and he's even got his own animation for it. Then a green shield pops up, and you have to take cover behind it to dodge his next attack. It's pretty cool when you remember that this is a callback to the original Space Invaders, but also, you have no time to react here. The shield pops up super quickly, flashes an arrow in an even shorter amount of time, and then if you're not already at the top of the screen, you're screwed. One thing I find really funny is that the shield doesn't even do anything. As soon as the laser is about to reach the shield, the boss just stops shooting entirely. For all we know, he probably could have blasted right through it if he tried.
Well, the boss is intimidated by the shield, you understand? It's the same thing of like, what makes a weapon powerful, chat? Using the weapon or the fear that someone will use the weapon against you? That is why psychological warfare oftentimes can be more powerful. The more you know.
Right. Oh, what's that? He literally does! The shield signals for you to go down and gives you plenty of warning ahead of time, which makes this second blast a lot more readable. But as it's moving down, you can very clearly see the laser pierce right through it. So I'm starting to feel a lot less safe around this thing. It doesn't really matter though, because the shield heads out after this anyways. After that, he goes ARG again and shoots one more laser, but this one straight up gives you no time to react. There's an exclamation mark to warn you, but it appears at the same time as the laser itself, so all it does is mock you. Like, what was this for? It's like if I punched
Socrates is crazy. I don't know if we've gotten that one before. Wow, that's Socrates.
someone in the face and then said watch out after. Actually, you know what? Yeah, this alien would definitely do that. Fortunately, there's some fairer exclamation marks up ahead that give you a lot more time to react. And this time the boss is actually lunging forward at you, so now it's personal. So if you survive all that, he's like ha 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 in Spanish. Game over! And strap in, because you're about to witness the absolute peak of cinema. So a big spike wall goes down, but the blue guy comes back and he's like, no! And then destroys it with his laser. I want to assume that
Dude, the blue guy's OP!
the red guy summoned this spike wall to destroy you, but the pacing here is so awful that there's no way to tell what it's really for. You don't have any time to comprehend what's going on because
Wait, I want to play as the blue guy. Can there be a character select for Generation Retro?
by the time you blink, the blue guy's already destroyed the wall. I mean, shout out to him for jumping in so fast, but also it makes for terrible storytelling. Where's the
I have a blue house with a blue window. Blue is the color of all that I wear.
suspense? Side note, this is
Thoughts?
another cutscene, which means more invisible walls, so you're just randomly floating here the entire time because visible platforms are a thing of the past. After
That's
destroying
crazy.
the wall, the red alien is like, ARG, you again? Yeah, he really likes saying ARG. Also, wait, this means they've met before. So, was that him in the last fight? The blue guy responds with, yeah, but the timing makes it look like he's cutting the boss off mid-sentence. Then he goes, and we will end, which I'm not
Yeah, blue guy reaction time is probably like 0.00001 ms.
not even sure what this one means. Maybe let's end this? I don't know. But the red alien responds with no, so clearly it's bad for him. Then they do that thing from sci-fi movies where they shoot lasers at each other and form a massive ball of
You say sci-fi movies, I say Dragon Ball Z, the father-son Kamehameha during the Cell Saga, when Gohan had to use the power of his deceased father to take over Cell once and for all.
light in the middle. But sadly, it's just too much for a little blue hero, and the red alien takes him down. Your player cries out, no! And the boss laughs back, still in Spanish. Also, a quick timeout. This is the second time you, the player, yell no, but this time it uses
We're just gonna gloss over that blue guy got Dabba D Dabba dead?
your primary player color instead of your second one. So either the creator forgot which player color he's supposed to be using, or honestly, that's the only thing I can think of. Another platform causes you to slide up a little bit, and you hit one final invisible size portal to turn you into a big boy. Game over. No!
We became blue guy.
And just like that, the evil red
Because we were so blue guy was like our mentor. This is my headcanon, okay, chat? Blue guy was our mentor. We learned a lot from him during the ball part. He came and he helped us out during like one of those fights earlier on. But then we had to become blue guy in order to win. We had to allow blue guy to take over us and become the version of us that once could have only ever aspired to be blue guy. We had to become better than blue guy. This is an anime.
Space Invader has been defeated. Wait, why didn't you just do this from the start? Or maybe the blue guy weakened him? I don't know. But
No, the blue guy didn't weaken him. The blue guy inspired us to become, it's All Might, bro. It's My Hero Academia. We sucked him dry and
Rest in
got his powers.
peace. Finally, the level ends with this unmissable Mario coin, which is the level's third coin. Because obviously it wouldn't be a bad custom level without a free coin at the end. A free coin that isn't even
You what?
consistent with the style of the other two coins, and doesn't even use a sprite from the right game. At the very least, it syncs up with the last note of the song. But like, that doesn't help in any way. Finally, the level's end screen. GGXD. Score 9999. A Lenny face. Well, it was 2015. Aretho Diaz. That's the guy who made the level, and he just doxed himself. 22,935 objects. That's not even accurate. Part 2. No! And with that, the level is finally over. 101 seconds of your life that you are never getting back. And if you happen to be hugging the roof during this part, like I was, you die and get to do it all again. The funny part is that this is completely unintentional. If you look in the editor, it's actually the spike wall from earlier, since its move trigger only lasts 20 seconds, which happens
I'm guessing that that's to troll. That was another troll thing.
to expire at 98%, or even 99%
Yeah, part 2, Blue Guy's Revenge.
if you're really
He becomes the villain, and you're just like, this isn't you, Blue Guy. And Blue Guy's like, "Rah! Rah!" And you have to kill him.
unlucky like this guy in the comments. But there you have it. Generation Retro by Aratsa. Furta's Level Retro 2.0. Like. Thanks Rubrub for featured in coins verified. Smiley face GGXD. I think Sir Haddoken's comment describes my thoughts perfectly. That Blue Bite is a hero. If he hadn't sacrificed himself, this level would have been long.
You should definitely audition for Blue Guy. I don't think I have the chops. I think I'm a wonderful actor. I think Blue Guy takes a very specific kind of talent.
Longer. Virus detected? I think the computer's talking about the level. Johnny, this isn't Killbot. Sad that this garbage had to be in a gauntlet. Now it's getting underserved fame. It's sad, really. Honestly,
Dude, people are such haters. It's
I agree.
crazy, dude. Like, chat, on the internet, it's so easy. When you see something you don't like, you can just follow the old adage, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say it. And you get to, like, feel so much better. You get to save your peace of mind as well. It's literally so easy. Yeah, like, make a better level. Like, with the energy you take to write a comment of like, I can't believe this is getting undeserved fame now. I'm an expert on everything. It's like you could make your own level, but you can't because you're a coward who fears the judgment from others that you so famously are able to give to them.
I spent the whole video going over why this level is such a steaming pile of trash, but in reality, my biggest problem with it is that it's in a gauntlet. It's the final boss of a gauntlet. You could argue that levels like Thinking Space are quote-unquote bad, but if you don't want to play them, you don't have to. Worst case scenario,
Exactly.
you miss out on 10 stars and a couple of list points. But Generation Retro is forced. It's basically on the same pedestal as
Is it forced? Like, just don't play the gauntlet, bro. I haven't played a gauntlet yet in the game. I get it. Like, some people have this brain disease called being a completionist, and I have it sometimes. But this doesn't even, I don't feel like you got to do this. If you don't want to play a gauntlet, don't play the gauntlet. Download another funny I Spy with my little I-type beat.
as an official level. The level definitely has its fair share of charm, but I don't want to play this. I don't think
No one's forcing you to play official levels. Am I insane? Am I insane in the membrane?
other people should be forced to
But I'm a star grinder? Oh, okay.
either. I'm fine with this level existing, but still.
I forget that people like grinding stars. I personally don't care about that, but some people do. That's fair.
We need to go back in time to update 2.1 to get Generation Retro off the Poison Gauntlet. So, in conclusion, this level
What if I made a new finale for the poison level and I called it Scary, Scary Poison Gas World? And it's just like, there's a bunch of fog and it's green and you have one spike jump and we make that the end.
sucks.
Thoughts?
Just go play Retray instead. Thanks
Because that would be on theme with poison.
for watching, and I'll remember you all in therapy.
I'll remember you all in therapy. Sorry, I was starting to do that with a Squidward voice. I think it was Plankton. Yo, WGD colon. Wait, that was a great video, y'all. Wait, y'all, don't forget to like and subscribe to GD colon and also me. This was a great video. Should we react to more GD colon videos, chat? I feel like these are our best react videos because GD colon is very good at like making points and writing scripts that I can actually have like an opinion on, that I can actually like talk about stuff. It's good. Maybe we should just like go through all of GD colon's backlog of videos. Thoughts? Just watch every single one. I'd love that, bro. I love these videos. Again, I get why he wins freaking Best Creator Award. All right, well, Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Did you like that? Don't even pretend like you didn't. You made it that far in the video. Well, did you know that I stream Monday through Friday on Twitch and YouTube, and you could catch me live and get to be a part of the experience when it happens? Also, if you don't care about that, or otherwise you want to see more of the video that you just watched, link in the description to watch the full VOD. Do that, please. I have a black eye because I play basketball sometimes. Bye. Oh,